Minecraft. Diary of a Minecraft Zombie Alex, Book 1, The Witch, an unofficial Minecraft diary book, written by MC Steve and narrated by Zombie Alex. Day 1. Alone in the village. Dear Diary, I woke up with a headache that felt like someone was pounding nails into my skull. When I opened my eyes, I was sure the sun was going to burn them right out of my head. I felt sick and sore all over, like I'd been beaten up and had caught the flu on the same day. I crawled into the shade of a tree to stop the burning, but I still didn't know why I was burning in the first place. What happened yesterday? I just wish I could remember. I stayed in the shade under the tree for what seemed like an hour before my headache finally went away. Then I stood and got a good look at what was around me for the first time since I'd woken up. I was still in my village, I think. At least it kind of looked like my village, except it was destroyed. The village was in ruins. It looked like a firestorm, a tornado, and an earthquake had hit it all at once. Only I think I would remember if something that crazy had happened. No matter how hard I tried, though, I couldn't remember what had happened at all. For all I know, the craziest combination of natural disasters of all time could have happened yesterday, and I would have been just as clueless as if a rogue forest fire had swept through the village. I started to step out of the shade of the tree and get a better look at what was left of my once beautiful village. But as soon as I moved into the sun, my skin started to feel like it was burning again, and my headache came back. I didn't know what was going on, but I figured I should stay in the shade to avoid getting hurt. It didn't take long for my headache to go away the second time. Once it did, I tried to spot my house among the ruins of the village. If I found my house, I would be able to go home and get my sunburn lotion. Once I had that, I would be able to go out into the sun again. As hard as I tried, I couldn't manage to find my house in the mess of all the other ruined houses. They all looked the same to me. The village was just one big, burned-down mess. It was terrible to see, and I couldn't stop myself from crying a little bit. I knew I should have made my house out of stone instead of wood. I decided to stay under the shade of the tree until the sun went down. I knew the monsters would come out quickly at night, so I had to find my house before they found me. Before starting my search, I found a crafting table. Luckily, they were everywhere, and made a torch. At least the torch would keep the monsters away from me until I found a place to hide or a weapon to fight with. It took me what seemed like forever to find my house. A lot of the other houses had burned down in whatever disaster had swept through. I just wish I could remember what the disaster was. I know it's not my fault, but I'm mad at myself for not being able to remember. I noticed something strange while looking for my house. There didn't seem to be anyone else in the village. There wasn't even anything lying around that villagers would have dropped when they died. The village was empty, but it didn't seem like anyone had died there, so maybe the villagers had run away? I was so glad to know they were probably alive somewhere, but I was scared too because I had no idea where they were. There was a bunch of rotten flesh dropped all over the place, though. It was really gross. I know that a certain monster drops rotten flesh when it dies, but I can't remember which monster drops it. I bet that monster caused all of this. If only I could remember. Eventually, I found my house. The only thing that made it stand out from all the other burned houses was the doorknob, which I'd made out of emeralds because I thought it looked pretty. That was the only thing left of the door by the time I got there. I stepped inside what was left of my house and started looking for my sunburn lotion and anything else I could manage to find. I couldn't find my sunburn lotion, but once I found my mirror, I realized I wouldn't need it. There was a reason the sun burned my skin and gave me headaches. I had turned into a zombie. Had zombies attacked the village? That would explain the rotten flesh everywhere. I didn't want to think about that, though. I studied myself in the mirror a little bit more. My skin was green and I looked sick. I didn't have a craving for brains, though, so maybe I hadn't turned all the way. I tried to talk and found that I could. I must still be part human, so that's good. I also found my diary in the rubble. That's what I'm writing in now. I have a new mission now. I'm going to get out of this village and figure out what happened. I want to save the people who lived in my village if I can find them. Most importantly, I want to be human again, and I want revenge on the monsters who did this. Oh, my name is Alex, by the way. I used to be Alex the human, but now I guess I'll go by Zombie Alex. Day 2. A second look. Dear Diary, I stayed inside what was left of my house until the sun went down today. Until I find a way
Sample complete. Ready to continue?